What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Minecraft Unabridged, and today we're going to be doing a special extra long building episode. We haven't done one of these in a while. We haven't done much aesthetic building since we actually worked on this area of our base, this little mountain area that we carved out over here. So we've been doing a lot of techie stuff. I thought it was about time we jump in and do some more building. So we're going to be finishing off this area that we were working on before, and we're going to completely wrap it all the way around this mountain, slowly bring it up to the top, and then flatten it out a little bit up here so that we got a nice little area right on top, and then maybe another little area right down there, and then put some buildings there, run a path between them, and then I think we can call it a day. But that is going to take a long time to do, a lot of work, a lot of building, so we got to jump right into it and get out our remote orderer so we can actually order up all the things that we're going to use today. So first off, we need to start with all the wood that we're going to use. We're going to use a lot of oak wood slabs, so we're going to want to get all of these out there. I don't know why there's 126 and not 128, but that's fine. And then we're going to go for 2 stacks of wood, and we'll leave the oak wood planks in there for now. I don't think we'll need those. Then we're going to need some nice stone so that we can fill in any areas that we have issues with in the wall, and some nice cobblestone too. And then along with that, we're actually going to need a crafting bench, just because we're going to need to make some stairs and things like that. So we need to actually get this all the way down to just 1 so we can request that. And we should be good. Should have all the stuff we're going to need for a little bit at least. Going to need to make some things for detail, like some more immersive engineering lanterns to line the path with, things like that. But for now, we should be able to get a rough idea of what it's going to look like. And we're going to put these down. We just need to continue this. While I'm putting these down, I want to talk about this area right here, because this area looks disgusting. I know it does. You guys have pointed out that it looks really gross. Like, I know there's not actually that much that I can do about that area right there, just because it has to do with Thaumcraft, and there's a chest down there somewhere that you can access to get some stuff for Thaumcraft, and I don't feel like doing that, so I'm hoping we can kind of paint over this biome or change the biome somehow so it doesn't have this nasty grass color, and I can just cover that up. So we'll look into that in a little bit, but I'm really just hoping there's some way to get rid of it, because it does not look good at all. So right here, I don't know if we want to go one further back, because this path is getting a little thin right here. I don't know. No, we can leave it at 2 for a little bit. Yeah, and then here we can go back to 3. We can start cutting into the wall a little bit more here. So I already cut out most of this because I hadn't decided if I wanted to finish this off yet, but do we want? Yeah, okay, so this looks fine coming up right through here. Ceiling's a little bit close to our heads, so we can clear that out a little bit. And we're gonna have to do the same thing we did last time, where we just kind of repair whatever gets messed up here. So, we can grab some of this dirt and put it back right here, just so that it's, it still looks like it's an overhang, even if we have to cut a little bit of it out. And can start cutting some of this cobble out, and this is why I grabbed the stone. It's because right here we can kind of get rid of all this coal, put it to good use, and get some of this stone. We're not going to need the hammer, we're not going to need our swords. We can get these out of our hotbar. We're only going to need these 2, and we can get some of this stone down here, and we can start filling this in so it looks a little bit cleaner. Put some of that there and continue clearing this out. So we actually need to continue bringing ourselves up as we go along. Got to keep that in mind. And the faster that we can make our way up there, the better, just because it's going to take a while as is to actually get all the way up there, because we're going with half slabs and not actually stairs all the way around. Whoops. Oh gosh, I don't even have an axe on me. I don't have a regular axe. I probably should have made one of those, but I just expected we wouldn't make that many mistakes. It's like when one of my friends, he always takes his math tests in pen, and the teacher's always like, "Why would you do that?" He's like, "Because I'm not going to make any mistakes, so why would I need to erase it?" Even though he makes a lot of mistakes. He makes so many mistakes. And it always comes back to bite him in the ass. He scribbles things out, and oh gosh. Okay, so we need to start curving this back in, because we're going to be working our way up here. And we're actually needing to actually make it so we're carving into the mountain, which I'm forgetting to do. So we want to break these and actually start going back into the mountain a little bit, because we're kind of working our way out and we're going along the edge, but we're not staying under overhang. So we're actually gonna have to build out an overhang a little bit right here, and I guess we can dig these blocks out. and just keep on trucking, keep on going right here. And eventually I may just kind of stop working on this and go up and work on building at the top for a little bit so that it doesn't get too old, just because this is going to take a really, really long time to do, since there's such a long distance we have to go up, and we're going up so slow. But the one thing that we need to make sure is that as we're coming up, it looks nice. So like right here, we're going to have to go down and, you know, put all this dirt in here and, you know, do all that just so that it actually looks like it's going up gradually. Right here, we got to do some of that. Right here, consistently do that for all of these. Unfortunately, we can't do it with that one. We can do it with this and make it look a little bit nicer as we go along, and that grass will die off and it won't look so bad. But we're going to have to do that all the way up here. So what we may do right now is just go and start working on the top so that we can build up here. So get out our lumbering axe, and we got to chop down all of these trees up here. We can plant more once we're done building, but this will actually be good because we're going to use some wood for our build today. And our build today is, again, inspired by Dizzy, Aaron, and Wells. Now, Wells has been doing one of those techie builds where you just kind of go out on a flat surface and build, but his initial house really inspired me with a nice building style, and Dizzy always has this awesome steampunk building style that turns out great. I know Brink actually commissioned him to fix the bottom of his house. I don't know if you'd say commissioned, but I think he did pay him to do some work on the bottom of his house to do the trimming and make it look better. So yeah, Dizzy's a good builder, and he recently added some buildings to spawn that turned out great. So I think we're going to work up here, and I don't know how much this actually needs to be flattened. Unfortunately, I do not have an excavator, which I don't know why I don't have that, but we can just clear all of this out right here. I think this is actually, we're only going to have to clear out this top layer, and then we should have enough room. So my idea is to kind of do like, not really a super steampunky build, but we're going to try and use the same materials we used down at our initial house, so just cobble and wood or oak wood and oak wood planks. Going to try and stick with that for now and see how it turns out, and we'll see if it sticks with the building style. If it does, that is awesome. If not, I may actually go down and renovate the house a little bit down there, just because, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not a huge fan of the building style I used for that, but you know, it gets the job done, and it's got a lot of stuff in it, so renovating it might be a little bit annoying. Okay, so eventually we will get the path up here. I don't know if we're going to actually wrap it all the way around until it's this level. We might do a little bit of a different path once we get, you know, to like right here. We might kind of bring it up a little bit like that. I don't know, but now the point is that we need to get to this house up here. And it doesn't matter if the grass grows, so we can just jump right into it, throwing down some of this wood. Now, I'm trying to think if we want to actually use wood for the corners. I do believe we will want to use wood for the corners and then line it with cobble on the inside. So we're going to have the entrance be right over here. So let's try and keep it an odd number and throw them down. Let's see how it would look like this and then this. Let's try and see if we throw this down here. Just trying to make some pillars, and then if we want this to be an odd number, we could do it like that. So if we're going to do a house like this that just kind of is an L shape, we'll do it like that, and then we can build it up. I want it to be relatively tall because obviously we don't have a lot of ground room right here to work with. But if we make it really tall, it'll look really cool from down there if we look up, and you'll be able to see like a nice building in the clouds. And it's a lot easier to build now. I would do this kind of sped up, but it's a lot easier to build now that I can fly around because I can orient the wood correctly and stuff. So that's really nice. So for like these, when I want to get the wood like this, I don't need to be hopping all over the place. I can just kind of fly around. So nice. The angel ring is so nice, especially for doing builds like this and just for exploring. So I think that should be high enough for the initial one. And the question now becomes, do we want this to be multiple floors? So I actually think what we could do is make the first one, like we could do two separate roofs. One roof that goes this side, and then one roof that goes like facing us right here. So the decision is, I think we want to make this one like this, and I think we can make this one a little bit higher. So let's make this one have like a little attic upstairs, and we'll only make that, it won't be super high. Oh man, we are Oh no, we're not out of wood. Okay, just didn't throw it more in our inventory. Inventory tweaks, how you fail me. You fail me all the time. Okay, so we got this going right here. We can build this up. And now it's going to be a trick to get this roof to actually look correct right here, but we will see. I'll get it to work eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time, actually. So now the roof right here is going to be slanted the same way. We should probably go sleep before we work on this anymore, just because we are working outside where there's no light. But I do have a couple ideas. It's going to take some time to get them fully set out, but I think we should be good. Going to do a cobblestone roof just like we did with our other buildings, and I think that'll look good. And we can kind of fill in with cobble where we need to here. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So we're going to throw down our crafting table up here just because we're going to be doing a lot of crafting. It can go right here. And we're going to make a bunch of stairs. So we're actually probably going to need a lot more cobble. Maybe we have some stairs in our old storage module tablet we got right here. I feel like we totally do. Yeah, we got some stairs here. We got some of the slabs too, which would be good. We got some more of these wood slabs we can grab out of here, and we can get some more cobble too, just in general. Yeah, that's good. So we got all these things that we're going to need. Mainly going to need cobble for the roof right now. We're going to do similar style that we did before. Nope, that is not what we want. We want it to be oriented differently, like this. So run this along the edge, same style, and then we're going to want to bring it out one. I don't believe, did I do that down there? Yeah, I did. Okay, so we want to bring it out one right here, and it's going to be important. I think we want to go like that and immediately get a cobble block right there just to raise it up a little bit. And the nice thing is that if we do it like this, if you're looking at it from the side, it'll look like the roof is being raised. So right here we've got wood blocks from the inside, but out here we only have to put one stair down, and just it looks like it's, you know, gradually going up, which is nice. So we will do that on both sides. And the tricky part of this build is actually going to be getting it to this part of the roof that's going to go over here to mesh with this portion. So it might look a little bit weird in that sense, but oh my gosh, I keep doing that. I'm flying a little bit too high. Let's get these down and get this last one over here, and do the same on these sides. Line it with cobble. This build is a little weird for me just because I know I've mentioned this before, but both me and I think Wells have kind of like some symmetry OCD going on, and so when things aren't symmetrical, that bothers us so much. And so this one's a little bit different, but I'm trying something different just because I think it'll look cool. So it's going to be important that I figure out what I'm going to do on this side, because this is obviously, like, this is really high right here, so it's looking a little interesting. I actually have some ideas for over there. Okay, so then we're going to do another layer of just the regular roofing going up, and it should be meeting actually very soon. So we'll do it on this side, and I think we'll be almost done. It'll need one more block between the two. Yes, one more block, and we'll be done with this side of the roof. Nice. So now it comes down to what we actually want to do for this. Before, I'd usually just done something weird like that, and then lined it with cobble in the center, I think, and then put down some slabs on top. So I may do that for now and just see how it looks. See, because that looks a little flat, I think. So let's try putting some slabs on top of those and see how that looks then. See if that makes it look a little bit less bland from the side. Okay, so that looks a little interesting. Now I want to work on this roof going over here. So we're going to do relatively the same thing. We should have enough stairs, I believe. Man, every time we do that. So same thing, jut it out one, and we'll do that on this side too. Nope, we do not want that right there. Want it right there. And yeah, we'll stop right here and it'll intersect this roof eventually. You know what, we're going to want to do another cobble block right here too, just so that it increases the height quicker than stairs would. And do that on this side. And then we got to put the block below it too. Make it look nice and gradual. And pretty much the same thing the whole way along. It's just going to be right here where we got to be careful. When we start mixing these roofs, start piecing them together, it's going to have to look pretty good or else it's going to bother me. Okay, so right here, we're going to start, I think on this block, we're going to break these three, and it's going to have to start intersecting. So, same thing down here, just upside down stairs, all the way along. And same thing on this side, running a little low on stairs. Now we got to see how this looks if we just put regular, maybe we want to put another cobble block on it. See how that looks. Make it a little bit higher than the other roof. Okay, so that looks interesting. It's a little bit of a different height then. Get a little bit of variation going on in there. And then it can match up with that roof. And yeah, so then these won't match up perfectly. That looks pretty interesting actually. And then we can put down the regular cobble block here. Put the stair down on this side. And then put the slabs on top, and they should match up with these over here. Awesome. So that looks, I think that actually looks pretty interesting. So the only thing that's bothering me now is there's nothing on this side of the building. And that's just, it looks just so open over here. So I don't actually know what we're going to do. I might put something else over here, but for now, I actually think it's okay. So now we got to start putting down this cobble in here. And I don't actually know. I want to try chiseling the cobble, so I got to find my chisel. I don't actually know where it has disappeared to. Somewhere in here. I should just search for it. There we go. Chisel. Okay, so we're going to chisel some of this cobble and see what we can get. Because I don't really chisel the blocks and then use them that much, so we can test out a couple of these. So let's try chiseling this, and let's try some of this, and let's grab half of that. We'll just try down singular blocks. Try some of this. What else can we try? What is this? Damaged cobblestone tiles? Let's try some of this. The colored cobblestone. What is that? White stone? Frequency. No, let's just stick with this. Let's try this. We'll try this. So we'll get all these blocks down here, and we can just throw them down and see which one we think looks best. So we'll try it on this side right here. These are more defined than regular stone, which is why I really like them. Ooh, that one's dark, but it's got a lot going on. It's got a lot going on. That one's weird. Okay, so this one is right out. We're not counting that one. Main thing is, how does it look with the roof? How does it look with the roof? I'm kind of liking this one, actually. It's weird to say. It's between these two. I'm thinking the large cobblestone tiles. I'm thinking large cobblestone tiles, guys. We'll try it. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes. If it goes poorly, I'll change it off camera. No, we do not want that, good sir. So where are the large cobblestone tiles? Ooh, these are detailed bricks. Do we get to use these? Let's check these out. Detailed bricks. Ooh. Oh, that's a game changer right there. I'm liking that one. I'm feeling that one. Okay. We're going to go for that. Detailed bricks. Nice. There we go. So we got all these got to go back to detailed bricks. Just making sure there's no other ones down here that might look nice, but yeah, these are all iffy. None of them really look good for walls. So now we gotta request some more cobblestone from our remote orderer. Yeah. So if you guys did miss last episode, that is where I get this remote orderer. It is very nice. So we're gonna request 3 stacks of that. And oh, we actually didn't have enough room in our inventory. Interesting. Our inventory is getting real full, so we got to drop some of this back off in our AE system. Not going to need any of that coal. Not going to need a lot of that dirt. A lot of this wood is done. Not going to need any stone for now. And we can order the rest of our cobble. Slowly burning through all that cobble that we had in there. Okay, so time to chisel the rest of that to the detailed bricks. And there we go. So we got a lot of detailed bricks to work with now. Obviously, I don't want to do inlaid. We did inlaid before at our base down there, and I like how it looks with some of the cobble, but for here, we're just going to go straight up with it right outside. Line it right around the door. Actually, we'll leave that there. Here, going to do a relatively nice sized window. I'll just put it on the top and bottom, and we'll do the window right here. And then here, one thing I want to do is this. I think this would look really cool. So a window just like that, maybe? Actually, I don't know. Maybe just a window like this, and then we can have a nice window up here too. We can do that kind of window up here, so we can do one of those windows right up there like that. And over here, I wonder what it would look like if we did this on this side, just kind of like to get some different color in there. And then obviously we're gonna have glass up on the top up there. What can we do up here? Let's just try this all the way around, see how that looks. So I think that does look interesting. It's going to require some detail on the outside that I have yet to add, just because it looks a little bland. This whole like flat face right here kind of bothers me. I don't know. It does bother me. But whatever. We'll keep tacking on. It'll look better. Man, I should have brought a bed up here. The sun just keeps going down. We got to keep going back to sleep. That is the one thing that's nice about working either on techie stuff or doing like 20-minute episodes, is it's easier to avoid day-night cycles when you're doing that. But when you're doing kind of building episodes, it just, the time gets away from you. Like I think it's already been like 20-some minutes into this episode, and we've only just begun to kind of form the real building, which is interesting. So now we can kind of throw down a couple pieces right here. We can have a window right there, and I actually really want a window right here. So I think we'll actually just leave a window right there. I think that would be really cool because it kind of like looks out on this side. And we can do the same if there's any room. No, there isn't room back there. Okay, so we can just do the window on this side. I think that looks awesome. And then over here, we can just line it along here with this. And I don't actually know. Maybe I'll just leave these open for windows, because we're just kind of doing this a lot right here, like just that. That's what we're doing a lot of, and it's getting a little old. I think it is, at least. So maybe we'll leave this open, see how some of the windows look. Put some here. No. It would look weird. It'd bother me. Symmetry, once again, bothering me. But so base is looking like this. We can clear out the floor in a bit and put that in. We'll get a nice door and put it here. And now it's time for the glass. I actually don't know if we have glass in here. We do have some sand. It looks like we have a little bit of glass, but not that much. Yeah, because I made most of it into quartz glass, but luckily we do have some glass to work with if we go back into our old storage module, because I have not moved all of the stuff over from this one. So if we cycle back to our blocks, we got the nice stone frame glass right here. We're going to have to re-chisel this because I'm not really feeling this glass. We're going to want to use a different kind. So I want to use a darker glass. So we're going to look through all of these. I got a silk touch pick so we can get it back if we want. Let's take a look at some of this dungeon glass. Let's take a look at some of this thick grid glass. Some of this modern iron fence, and is there any other one we want to look at? This does not look good because it's a darker color. Let's look at ornate steel. So let's get all these down here. Let's look at all of them. And obviously you guys can tell me in the comments if you think one looks better than the other. But let's try them out right here. So let's throw all these pieces of glass down and see which one we like. I feel like there's one we're missing. Is there one we're missing? No, there isn't. This one looks interesting. I don't like this one right here. This ornate steel, that's a negative. I also not the huge fan of the dungeon glass. So it's between these two right here. Huh. I mean, I really like that one. Just because that one, it almost looks too fancy. It almost looks too fancy. Like it's trying too hard. That glass just wants to be it, but it's not. I'm liking this one. Maybe I'll change my mind later, but for now, we're gonna go along and we're gonna chisel all of this back. Oh wait, that's already the glass we want. So we're gonna chisel all this to this nice grid glass right here, thick grid glass, and let's put this down and see how that looks. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So let's try putting it up here, and then we can get a nice side view of the house. I like that. I do. I really do. I'm going to have to do something down here just to change that up. But like if we were to look at it from this side, I would like that. I like how it looks from this side. This side looks so bland because it's just flat right here. But from this side, oh man, look at that. That's a nice house. Let's fill this up with glass right here and let's take a look at it. Yeah, I like how that looks from this side. So obviously we're not going to have enough glass to fully fill this in, so we're going to actually have to go collect some sand. We have some sand at the base, and we have cobble, so we can actually just go directly back to our base. Let's get our nice... I need to have a bigger hotbar. Okay. So also one thing I want to point out, I got some more storage going over here, which is all very nice. So we need to get some sand. Barely have any sand in here, but we also can get some cobblestone and throw that into our sag mill. Get some of this out, and this can actually be set to active without signal. I usually keep it like this because I've been trying to get a lot of silicone, so I don't want the glass to get smelted down. That's where a lot of my sand and cobble has been going, is to making silicone for our system over here. But the glass should be automatically getting put over here, and it's going to be... We can grab the carpenter's door. You know what, actually, do we want to do that, or do we want to use some Malice's doors? Okay, will that search it up? Okay, so let's see what we got. Select from Malice's doors, guys. Let's see this. Downstairs, we use the wooden glass door. Maybe we're going to want to use... Maybe we want to use the iron glass door. Maybe that would look good. What does that take? Just iron and glass? That makes sense because it's iron glass door. None of these other ones are really jumping out at me, I gotta say. Yeah, no, I'm not really feeling it. Jail door, no. Let's try the iron glass door. Let's try it. We'll give it a shot. So we got to get all this glass in here, and the quite clear glass just got to get turned back into this glass, and we're going to use 3 pieces of this and then some iron to make that. Got a lot of iron from our farm. A lot of those nuggets, they're doing work. When I came back, I hadn't been on for a little bit because I had a chem exam the other day, which got an 85 on, killed it. Average for the class is an F, so... or that's what most kids get, are Fs on it, so killed it. But I've been busy, and I came back on, and I had like 1,500 nuggets of gold and 1,500 nuggets of iron. So I was like, yes, good stuff. So I don't actually know how much glass we're going to need, but I would assume, 40 is probably enough. 40 is probably enough. We'll take this last little bit of glass right here, and we'll say it's enough. Okay, so 46, definitely enough. And I'm hoping this door is nice. We can get some player sensors going later too. That's the main reason why I like Malice's doors, is because the player sensor is really cool. Does this not open? Can we not? Oh, that's weak. That's weak. Did I grab the carpenter's door? Gosh darn it, I didn't even grab that, on the off chance that didn't work out well. So these do look good, the thick grid glass, but you can't really see through it that great. That's one thing that bothers me. But, you know, we'll see. We will see. So once we have all of these sides done, we are going to have to actually put stuff in up here. So now we got to start thinking about how we want to do this. So the way I usually do this is, because when we have these stairs right here, you can't put down blocks. So what you got to do is you got to come in here, you got to break each stair, and let's see what it looks like if we were to just put straight glass in there. I usually would put a full block, but yeah, I'm thinking we should put full blocks in there. Ooh, you know what? I have an idea. I got an idea, guys. I have an idea. Gosh, the pick is too strong. Pick is too strong. So let's try this. Let's get some of these cobblestone detailed bricks right here, and those are going to go here and here. Plop those down, and actually let's put them here, here, and here. Okay, so that looks good. That kind of brings these together, because then there's no separation of wood, and this kind of brings them together a little bit. Looks nice. Then we're going to come over here, and we're going to re-chisel like 4 blocks of this into this ornate iron stuff, and put that down up there. Oh, that looks nice. That looks nice. It's like some detailed glass right at the top. Just a single piece of detailed glass can make such a difference. So we can break this, do the same thing, and put down the detailed glass. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. And then over here, we got to do the same thing. Over here, it's just a little bit different because the ceiling is a little bit higher. So, oh, it didn't want to break. There we go. Okay. Actually, is it? Yeah, it is a little bit higher. So, let's see. Whoops. Let's see how we're going to do this. So, do we want to do it too high, or do we just want to do one? I think we just want to do one again. I like that. I'm liking that a lot, guys. I really do. So I'm liking how this building is turning out right here. Gotta say, I still am bothered by the fact that there's not much on this side, but that is okay. Okay, so now we can come in here and we can start redoing the floor fully. And once we do this, I will then most likely go off camera and finish off that path that we were doing before, and then we can jump back and see the finished product and call it a day, because I think this was a very successful episode. Actually, I don't even know if I'll put an attic in here. I think this looks really good. Nice lofted ceiling. So now it comes down to what we want to make the floors out of. Now I'm thinking we actually want to use some wood, but unfortunately we only have wood slabs, which we can't do anything with, which sucks. But we can go in, and our inventory is getting very full. You know what, let's see what we can chisel some of this regular stone into. Can we make this into anything nice and fancy? We can get some masonry. Maybe we should try that. Maybe I'll take a look at that. Let's see what this looks like. Might look interesting. No, if that was gray, I would actually really like that. If that was just fully gray, I would like that a lot, but it isn't. It's trying too hard again, guys. It really is. It's killing me. That's neutral. What about this felsic? Let's see the felsic. No, but that's too dark. That just looks too dark. I can't do it, guys. And it's becoming nighttime, but I want to finish this off before we go back. So, what are we doing? Non-Sanity has rejoined us on the server. Let's try this. Small disordered stone bricks. I feel this is promising. I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to give it a try. I like it, actually. I think it looks interesting. It's interesting. The only problem I have with it is small disordered stone bricks, but it doesn't really look disordered, is the thing. Actually, let's take a look at stone panels. Disordered stone panels. Nope, stone bricks. Stone bricks it is. Disordered stone bricks it is. Okay, so we're going to finish up real quick, guys. I know it's really dark in here. Finish this up, and then we will jump back. Oh, gosh. Placing everything left and right all over the place. Here we go. So I think this looks really cool in here. Almost like, I don't even know how to describe this. It's really cool, though. Non-Sanity waves. Hello, good sir. Hello. Okay, so the sun is setting. It is time for me to say I will be right back, guys. I'm going to finish this. We're going to get a nice path up here. It's going to be cleaned up, and then we can come back and look at the finished product that we have for the day. So I will talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, so we are back, and I have finished the path finally. I really like how it looks all the way through here. Not sure about the stairs right here. I may redo it a little bit, but for the time being, it is all well and good, and we have the lanterns down everywhere. I'm using them to light up here and down here too, so everything should be good. I really like the way that the building turned out today. I think it looks awesome. Obviously, it's not as good as other guys' buildings on the server, but for me, I think it's really good. Looks really nice in here when it's lit up. I'll have to put some stuff down in here. Maybe I'll just throw some lanterns up there for now. That should light it up enough. But eventually, yeah, we will put some stuff in here. Maybe we'll make it 2 floors. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it does definitely look good from the outside. And if you look at it from down here, it does look pretty cool up there. So I gotta say, today's building episode was a success. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like. Also, if you want to see more building episodes, feel free to put that in the description. Or if you have any suggestions on how to improve this build, I would really appreciate the feedback. So be sure to put that in the comments below. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.